Hi, Kevin here. Got a problem with a LGT2654 Husky riding mower. Problems with power, forward and reverse. Also, the drive belt jumping off the pulley. One fix was to change out the transaxle fluid. This is a residential model, so it does not come with a serviceable transmission. You have to pay big bucks for those. So what I did, I drilled a hole right in the center of the transmission, which happens to be right in the middle of the fluid filter. Drilled a hole, tapped the hole with threads, put an oil plug in it. Of course, that allows me to now drain the fluid in the future. Now, how do you put fluid in it? Well, the manufacturer had to put fluid in it to begin with. So how do they do that? Well, if you look just under the fan blade on the transmission pulley, if you look very close, there's a cap right about here. It's on the left front side of the transmission. I don't know if you can see that too well, but it's right there. You can get that off with a long flathead screwdriver. There's also a magnet under the cap. The purpose of that is to catch little gear metal filings to help keep the transmission clean. So, took that cap out. This is a recommended transmission fluid, 20W50. As you can see, the hydrostatic transmission belt pulley is leaning down towards the front. As a matter of fact, the whole hydrostatic transmission, the whole transaxle is leaning to the front of the mower, which causes the belt to come off the rear pulley. So the question now is, what could be causing the transmission to lean forward and not align with the pulley belts? Well, upon further review, you can see that the transmission mounting bracket that connects the transmission to the frame is broken. It has split right down the joint there, and I believe I can weld that back. And let's look at the other side, and we see the same thing, a broken bracket on both sides. So I'm going to try to weld that. We shall see. So once I changed the fluid, the mower had much better power, forward and reverse. But then the drive belt kept jumping off the rear pulley over and over and over again. I had to keep putting it back on. So that's when I noticed the second problem, which was the broken brackets. Okay, luckily I was able to hammer the bracket back together so there's just a little hairline fracture showing on the rear and the front. I'll go around and do the same on the left side. Okay, here's the left transaxle bracket, mounting bracket. I was able to hammer it back straight. Now I want to check to make sure that the transmission and the transmission pulley is aligned with the rest of the belt pulleys. So, as they say, measure twice, weld once. Okay, looking underneath here, we're going to check to see if bending the brackets back straight has solved the problem. I'm just going to use this rear stabilizer bar to check the alignment, and they appear to be lined up sufficiently. So we'll weld her up. Okay, we're back underneath the mower. Put the belt back on. As you can tell, it's a new one, by the way. And voila. It all aligns much, much better. Any better than that would be pitch perfect. Okay, I also added a bracket to each side just for some extra support, since this weld here is on very weak metal, and it'll take some stress off of that. Also, I noticed up under the carriage, this guy right here is a torque stabilizer, and you just loosen the bolt here on each side and push it towards the front of the transmission, and it's got a couple of prongs at the top that hook in to the top of the transmission to keep it from moving forward. So I loosen it up and I push that bracket back so it's up tight against the transmission. Okay, let's give her a quick test drive before we put the mower deck back under. Here we go. Okay, we're good to go. Put the deck on.
like new now.
Okay, I want to thank y'all for watching. Oops, I should have used the plural of y'all. Thank all y'all for watching my first YouTube. Thank you very much. Cheers.